It doesn't pick it up.
Then fucking slap your desk. It's like playing Donkey Konga.
Donkey Konga.
And so, because in Donkey Konga, like you're supposed to clap, but that's really dumb. So you just slap the side of the bongos.
Wait, were you supposed to clap? I always thought you were supposed to slap the side of the bongos.
That's what I thought.
I mean, Donkey Kong claps.
Slap, slap, clap, clap.
I don't think anyone plays Donkey Konga.
Hey,
The thing is that clapping actually worked.
No, it didn't,
Oh, yeah,
because you had to
that's
take
what
your
I
hands
did.
off the bongos, and it was a really long time to clap.
I mean, you don't keep
Hey
your
guys,
hands
welcome
on
back
the
to another
bongos.
episode of Donkey Kong Bongos.
Hold on, I have a quick story about Donkey Konga, actually.
No.
Actually,
No.
No, this is
No.
actually really related to this specific game of D&D, and I'll explain why in a moment. So there was this video game rental place I used to go to, like a resale place,
Jesus Christ.
and the dude who owned the shop, like Donkey Konga just came out, and like I'm there, I'm like a 10-year-old, I'm there with my brothers. The dude like sees us looking at Donkey Kong, he like sneers at us, takes his shoes off, and like has really stinky feet, and goes out on like a dance pad and starts playing Donkey Konga to like show off to us.
Wait, on the dance pad?
Yeah, he was playing Donkey Konga on a dance pad, like a fucking DDR dance pad.
Okay, and
Why?
I'm sorry, how does this tie back into D&D?
Oh no, I lied about that.
got it.
God damn
You
it.
piece of shit, Ted.
Anyway, so welcome back
Can
to
he get
Revival.
a negative on like his next attack roll
But
for
hang
that?
on, so I was the only one he didn't
Yeah,
get?
sure.
That's normally the opposite of what happens.
So this is Revival, episode 31, I think.
I thought this was, it is 31.
Yeah.
No, this
Here's
is
an
episode
episode
30,
of
isn't it?
Fuck
No,
Spiders.
it's not.
Oh, 31.
Yep. Episode 31 of Revival, a Dungeons and Dragons real play podcast. And also Donkey Konga fan cast.
Yeah, that's the really the more important part here. Oh, jeez.
I hate this
It's
already.
noon in Japan. My arms are tired from the gym. Oh, let's go. It's good shit.
From the gym.
All right, do we still have our initiative rolled from last time?
Fuck no.
Boy, howdy. Yeah, there were some mild scheduling conflicts that made us have to stop the previous session early. So, yeah, this is an entirely new session. So, it's a good thing it's just a skills challenge because initiative doesn't matter as much. Reroll it for me, you fucks.
Alright. I thought I rolled another 1, but I got a 7 this time. 8
I
with the
got-
bonus.
Why does this happen every time? I got an 8.
17.
Tim got a 17 as well.
I think Pat and Jerry need to roll off.
So, what? No, you rolled one above him.
No, like, I have 8 in total.
He
so-
rolled a 7. You
Yeah.
rolled it. Yeah, and Patton had a 7 in total, right?
I had
No.
an 8 in total because I rolled a 7. I got my +1 from.
You fuckers both traded. Oh my god. Okay, what's Patton's dex?
Patton is very
It's-
dexterous at 10.
Jerry is
How
also
much does
very
Jerry have?
dexterous at 10.
Roll off. Fuck it.
I told you we'd have to roll
Elias goes first, John second, roll off. Jesus Christ, you guys keep doing it in the worst way, too.
off. 19.
I got a 14.
All right.
Okay, so it's Elias, John, Jiron, Patton. Okay.
Alright.
So, this is a fairly little complex skill challenge here. You guys are gonna
is
need, you guys are gonna need 9 successes,
Jesus.
4 failures. So,
That's not that bad.
you can double up if you go for the hard DC. You can double up if you try and go for the hard DC. There's one hard one in here, so it's more like 8, but one of them counts for 2.
How many failures was it again?
4.
4.
4. Okay.
Yes, you all have your action points. That shit all applies. So
Yeah.
when we last left everybody, you all had lit a bunch of torches, started lighting some auxiliary webs on fire, and we're now standing in front of this overgrown truck dealership.
Right.
Or rather, infested truck dealership.
I don't like that word as much.
Extremely
Can it be overgrown?
No.
That covers in weeds and
Nah.
shit?
Nah.
Okay.
From what you can tell, there is one spider at least that is just an actual spider, and the rest are horrible nightmares.
Nice.
Well, all right then. So I'm up first.
Yeah. So all around you, as you light all of these things on fire, the smaller, the smaller like dog and cat sized ones start coming out at the perimeter, but are being kept away by the flames. They start kind of gargling and making other weird popping noises and shit at you.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yes.
All right. First
You hear
things
something
first.
rumble from the interior of the building.
First thing is first. I want to use nature here. And what I want to do with nature is, this is sort of my element. Like, out in the woods, surrounded by a bunch of bullshit that nobody's probably seen before or studied to any extent. So, what I want to do is I want to see if there's a path through the webs that goes by spiders that look like they've eaten recently, or look like they're, starving and ready to attack.
Okay.
So I want to go by ones that are more likely to like just peace out if we provoke them, rather than start hissing and spitting at us.
Right. Yep. So look for ones that have signs of recent kills in the webs and shit like that.
Yeah. Ones that are more likely to just go, fuck this, and go back to their web if we threaten them.
Right.
So I'm gonna use nature for that.
Makes sense.
17.
17 total.
Yeah.
That'll just make it.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Ooh.
Just barely. So, what you see as you start to move your way into this building here, things are being kept at bay by the fire, and they don't seem to recognize you as like living things just yet, right?
They're
still kind of sizing you up because the light is more or less blinding them.
Okay.
And they still are not entirely sure what to do. But as you start making your way through, as you said, a lot of the ones with seemingly like signs of recent kills in the web more move out of the way and scramble to safety rather than try to bite at you as you make your way through those webs, getting into the actual building itself.
I want to try and maintain a little more air of caution rather than like mad scramble, because the more you struggle and the more you go fast, the worse this is going to get. So I'm going to just motion to everybody to shh, keep quiet, move slowly and with purpose.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Next up, John. How are you going to sneak through here quietly and subtly?
I was gonna shoot him.
John reaches for the gun. Elias puts his hand on John's hand. No.
All right. So I got a pretty high heal, as it turns out. I keep forgetting about that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It'd be reasonable for me
just
to...
so you know, heal. For the viewers at least, I know you're probably going to go for here. Heal is not only used for literally healing things, but it's also used for knowing about things like poisons and diseases, things like that. Heal is something that is very good for assessing living creatures' status and stuff like that. Right?
I would have called it like medical knowledge. That's a pretty good sum up.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fair.
I want to know what would be good in terms of either like insecticide or insect repellent, or giant zombie
that makes
spiders.
sense, actually. Yeah, trying to figure out what these things are like and figure out what would drive them away.
Yes.
Or if there's plants nearby that they're avoiding.
Yeah.
23.
23?
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Well, things that are very obvious. One, they don't like fire.
Thank you.
The light is clearly not working in their favor. You see a lot of the mutated spider things, since they don't actually have like fully formed compound eye, the fully formed multi-eyes and all of that shit, they're still kind of using these weird, like the weird vestigial remnants of the previous eyes, and it is not going well. Like, those pupils are full dilated, and they're getting the full blast of the light there. Also, one thing that you notice is there are a couple of points where some of the native plant life has overgrown some of the webs, and they make no efforts to go back across those. It looks like there's a couple of like spiked vines and things that are fairly reminiscent of the vines that had that sweet stuff in the middle of it that was attracting smaller animals that they seem to be avoiding very heavily.
Mm-hmm.
How close are we to those vines?
Could we use those vines as
Not
an insect
very.
repellent?
Potentially.
Okay.
Little bro might be able to get over there.
Yeah,
Grab
I was gonna make Patton do all of my work for me.
some. That sounds
Right.
about right.
So the thing that Elias would know, this is just free knowledge that Elias could bum off of since you guys are going slow and all that.
Yeah, I assume John is pointing this out.
Right. As you guys are walking along, what you would probably be able to deduce very, very quickly is, oh yeah, they don't want to smell like something that those plants eat.
Hey, Patton, think you get me some of that vine juice over there?
The vines of... Oh. Not a bad
Looks
idea,
like spiders
John.
don't much like that.
You keep it down just a little bit, a little quieter.
Couple bottles of alcohol too.
Yes. Yes, it's pretty dark in here as well as you guys are walking through these the webbing. Also, to describe the interior of this building.
Oh, have we gotten inside now?
Yeah,
Probably not. Oh, have
you're
we?
just starting to walk in. Yeah.
All right.
So, as you're starting to walk in through the hangars and stuff, this is just, a garage, right? You guys are having to walk in probably through the front main entrance where you see all of this webbing and shit snaking through aisles of dust-covered boxes and bottles of antifreeze as you see random creatures skitter through the halls. And on the floor and on the ceiling above you, you aren't quite in the garage, but you can see over to it now that the torchlight is illuminating the way. But you are going to have to start snaking through some of these aisles and such to actually find your way over there.
Boy, I wonder if there's any big spiders hiding underneath these desks.
Probably not.
It's not desks, it's more like pallets of shit.
Oh boy, I wonder if there's any big spiders hiding around here.
Probably not.
Yeah, no, you can see most of them.
Most of them.
There might be some in the so the roof is pretty torn up, right?
Yeah.
Because it's one of those like paneled roofs, but you just see panels ripped out and things were clearly crawling through them as part of like the internal ventilation and shit like that. Is now just being completely infested with these things.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, you're walking through an auto shop that is coated in spiders.
Boy, howdy, I don't like that. All right, who's up next?
All right, I am.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up on the spiders not liking fire, and I'm gonna look at my torch, and
Jerry
Gee,
burns it all
there's
down.
fire on the stick.
so what I'm gonna do. No,
Hi,
hold on.
that's something.
Don't
What
bully
can they
him.
do these days?
So what I'm
Don't
gonna do
bully him.
is I'm gonna take my torch, and I'm going to put it near my arm, and then I'm going
Fire
to
hot.
Stop.
Do you know who I am?
Oh, that's true. You're right.
Okay. So I'm going to put the torch on my arm. I'm going to set my jacket on fire as an intimidate.
Ooh,
That's good.
That's actually
like
pretty
it.
sweet. I like that.
All
I
right,
bullied
let's
you.
roll
I'm
it.
sorry I bullied you. Hell yeah.
That's a 23.
Nice.
23. That's a success, and against the hard DC.
What up?
That's
So,
2 successes.
Basically, you guys are walking along, and Elias, right out of the corner of your eye, you see in the ceiling above you an approximately deer-sized spider, kind of like a deer's head peeks out through one of the holes in the ceiling and then crawls backwards
Jesus.
out, right? And looks like it's about to drop down as as Giron just lights himself on fire, the thing drops, lands on him slightly, then just screeches running out of the entire building.
Is that spider on fire?
Yes, it is, as it now
So
just
it's lighting
runs
all the
outside.
webs?
Yeah, it's lighting a lot of the webs that it is running out of the building, screeching, and then a large number of the spiders move to follow it. As you see it burn up, the hide and body around it burns away, and then it kind of clatters to the ground as a bunch of the other spiders just jump on it and start ripping it apart.
Yeah, because spiders are cannibalistic as fuck.
Yep.
I don't like that at all.
They are.
That's good for us, but I don't like it.
I'm not actually going to say anything. I'm putting it all in like subtitles of what I'm thinking and just getting all this amazing footage. All
Amazing.
right, that's my turn.
Zep's gonna zoom in on that. You're gonna get one of those little censored for the children.
Yeah.
Experiencing technical difficulties. We'll be right back. Little thumbs up, Zep and Jerry in the corner. Beep.
All right, next up, Patton.
All right. So I'm going to go with a simple, with an obvious one here. And this isn't a switch around, I swear.
Starting to move through these shelves and things now. A lot of the pallets, of course, have fallen over time, but a lot of them have actually been, wrapped up and kept slightly standing by the web. As you start to walk forward, you can see the entrance to the garage has actually been somewhat cleared by that screeching, flaming deer monster. As you have a pretty good line of sight to the main garage area now.
All right. So, as we're approaching that garage there, so I'm thinking of trying out some dungeoneering here. Because typical, these spiders, they're not, they don't go out and there's a lot of them that don't go out and actively hunt, and they just kind of sit back, wait for shit to get to them. So I'm going to use that dungeoneering to see if I can see if there's anything near or around the door or these pallets. If there's anything else that's still just waiting there to bite our asses.
Right, like anything in the structure of the building that looks out of place that would signal some sort of trap.
Yeah, like a trap door.
Or like some kind of web door. So like, oh, that's just covered in that's covered in cobwebs. Oh shit, those aren't cobwebs. All right, let's go ahead. Come on, baby, don't give me another one. I fucking shit you not, I rolled a 1.
Are you
shit you not.
kidding me?
Oh no.
God damn it.
Do you want to action point, or would you like to hold that shit?
4 failures.
Okay, so a 1. How many failures does that count for? Just 1?
Just one.
Yeah, just 1.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna save that action point. I'm gonna need it, I feel like.
Okay, so Patton turns on his special thermographic vision to scan for any signs of life hiding behind the doors as he walks out towards the garage. You don't see any.
Coast is clear, guys. Just step out of right.
So as he takes one step, you guys look down. You see a small circle of web that then tightens around his leg as you see Patton just get dragged underneath a ruined big rig.
All right.
I'm sure he's fine down there. He said the coast is clear.
And it's just quiet, right? It's just... And he just slides right under, right? There's
In response,
no obvious movement.
I'm next, right?
Yes, top of the round.
Response, acrobatics. What I'm going to do here is I assume that this place is covered in webs, but there's some spots that don't have webs, right?
Right. Okay, so let me describe the area now that you're walking into it, right?
Okay.
So this is it's a general garage. There are tons of various rusted out vehicles, several like car carriers with vehicles on, just random sprawling vehicles on top of them. Things are flipped over. A couple of cars are suspended upside down in massive webs.
Jesus.
And way off in the back, though, you see something under a tarp. Also, there's just crisscrossing webs everywhere, and you see now much larger spiders are running around as you see them all turn towards the big rig that Patton just got dragged under, or is getting dragged towards, and they start scurrying over that way. These ones are more in line with, like, large buck deer, elk, things like that. With the joints all bent the wrong way with spider legs coming out.
Yeah, that's good. That's, I needed that visualization. Thanks.
Yeah. Just imagine, like, the legs of a spider coming out of the back of a big buck deer, and it's flipped over, but the head still moves.
Oh, good. I assume they're making, like, raspy, like, dying deer sounds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. You're just going to keep going with that? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. In response, I'm going to do some Mission Impossible, like, jumping through the laser beams shit. I'm going to use acrobatics to avoid the crisscrossing webs and find safe spots to land. And I'm going to do basically like a back handspring and try and cut Patton's leg free before he gets completely dragged under this thing and dies.
All right, sick.
So that's acrobatics.
Yep.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Boy, howdy, that's a success.
Picking up the slack from Patton here.
Nat 1 to a nat 20. So what you're going to do is you jump handspring off of one of the cars that's suspended in the web, right?
Yeah.
And right as your hand leaves, you see one of these large elk things dash towards the car, try and, dive at where your hand was, look confused, look around, not see you at all, as you then, deftly slide through a tiny little crack in the web, slide down on the ground, cut Patton free, right as you see the thing underneath the big rig that was pulling at him is just this really kind of colossal, like far too large spider coming out of the body of a like an armadillo.
Armadillo?
That's just it. Yeah, it's just like close. It's very low to the ground, but wide, like covering the entirety of this body. Like the legs are just super long, like a daddy long legs.
I'm going to lean over to Patton and say, I said move slowly and with purpose.
Not right now, Elias. Let's just back away slowly and with purpose.
So it starts reeling the web in, right?
Johnston.
Like, jumps on the web, looks around, doesn't see anything, and then just like sticks itself back onto the bottom of the big rig.
Now, how
Curls
hairy
its leg,
trapdoor
like
spider.
curls its leg around.
How hairy is this thing's legs just slick and chightness, or is it like really furry like a tarantula?
Slick chightness.
Okay.
Slick and chightness.
Do I get anything else for the nat 20, or that'll do it?
Oh, you just saved Patton from dying. What else do I get? Fuck you two.
Congratulations, pat in the back.
Pat in the back and Patton's back.
So wait, that's 5 successes now, right?
Yes.
Five successes, one failure.
Only one failure.
Nice.
So next up is John.
All right, so
we're a little separated now, though.
Yes.
Well, because me and Patton got dragged off a bit, and I had to jump through some webs. So you and Jerry or John and Jerry are sort of back a ways between some webs, and me and Patton are together.
Yep.
yeah, sounds right. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to get into the garage?
Yes.
Okay.
The goal here is find DB, get him to safety, right?
Wasn't he in a vehicle earlier?
Potentially.
I think we saw him throw a
He,
radio out of a
he
vehicle
threw his
and then he ran
radio
away.
out.
Yeah, no, you did not ever see him. He threw his radio out of the garage.
And okay, out of the garage. I thought that was out of a vehicle.
Yeah, because fucking
Someone.
Giron tried to call him, which nearly got him killed.
Hey,
All right.
hey, DB, are there any spiders near you? If there are, you should let us know. We're gonna come get you. You want anything? You good?
We're stopping at Chipotle. You want a taco? I'll get you
We're
3
stopping at
tacos.
these
some
webs full of
burritos?
spiders. Do you want a zombie spider carcass?
Yo, you want some Cheetos? Make them flamin'.
All right,
Make
so
a flame.
it would be a good idea if I set that on fire.
The tarp?
You don't have to set everything on fire.
What if DB
I
is
wanna
under the
set
tarp?
everything on
He'll
fire.
probably come out from under the tarp when it's on fire. Problem solved.
He's not a cat in a tree.
Like, maybe God could, like, shine a light on where this lost soul is. I don't know. Something like that.
I don't think it works
That's
that way.
stupid.
I don't know. I'm not the
Yeah,
religious
Jerry doesn't know
character.
shit about God.
Exactly.
Hey John, why don't you cast a magic ritual to see where he is?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
don't
Unlike
sound
your
right, Jerry.
stupid ass.
All right, so yeah, my 2 ideas were
God.
in the event spiders were like actively hunting us, which it doesn't sound like. I was gonna like
Not
intimidate
quite
or something.
yet. Yeah,
But-
I mean, they are... Okay, so in front of you, you do see one of these large buck-sized ones on top of one of these suspended cars in the webs, right? Of which there are a decent number that does turn and, in all of the commotion, does seem to notice, at the very least, Patton. Right, because Patton's triggered the hive. Things are starting to move around and take notice.
You also have to remember that spiders aren't like, they don't just like start running at you. They make really quick snatching kind of movements. So they could be hunting us without making any indication that they're doing so.
There's a lot of things looking at you. You look up and you see eyes, right?
I don't like that.
Can I not look up? Can I not do that?
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay.
John
You
adjusts his hat.
feel eyes.
I don't like this. All right, so yeah, I had fire and guns. Those were my two top ideas.
I mean, guns still work.
It was, hey Elias, can I be a little loud now?
I mean,
John loud? No. Elias loud? Yes.
No, John, they're over there. We're over here. You can be loud. They can come to us. We'll be fine. Did you see what I did to that other spider? We'll be fine.
Okay. I mean,
Giron, bad ideas, Thalatak.
I'm good with it.
That's why we're a bad buddy cop team.
I mean, if you can do something similar to what Jerry did, that would be helpful, but don't draw attention to us.
Yeah. So, I asked Patton for alcohol earlier, but I did it really close to the mic because Elias told me to be quiet. I'm not sure if you heard that. So, I have alcohol.
I do hear every lip smack that you're making, though.
Don't do that.
Okay.
Please don't do that.
I won't do that. All right. So, I'm going to take one of those. I'm going to set it on fire. I'm going to throw it.
Tim, I'll fucking punch you.
I'm not trying to.
I can't understand what you're saying.
Will you fuckers? Like, okay, real talk. Me describing these horrible nightmare spiders is less disturbing than your goddamn mouth noises.
Like, I'm sorry. I've been drinking water a lot. I'm not sitting close to the mic. Don't know why it's happening.
Okay.
You got a slappy mouth.
That's not a phrase I like.
Okay, what is John doing?
Okay, so-
For fuck's sake.
I throw the Molotov, the flaming bottle of alcohol, way over there, and then shoot it.
Ooh.
Way over
Frittata.
where?
I don't know, just not necessarily
Over
near
there.
us.
Out into like the middle of the area, right?
Yeah, where spiders are.
Okay.
That's
That's
everywhere.
intimidate.
There's spiders
No, he's-
everywhere.
He's
What's
clearing
right
a
there?
path. He's clearing a path. It makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
See, it makes sense.
Okay, how are you doing that?
Intimidate.
Nice. All right, roll it.
I did bad. I
Oh no.
got a 12.
Okay, would you like to action point that?
Should I?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
You might.
Yes, please.
I'll go
Yes,
ahead and
please.
action point it. 1.
Nat one?
No.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da.
No.
Okay.
This is
so,
your fault, Michael.
No, it's not.
I could have gotten to 4.
Okay. It's not any better. Just so you know. Failure's a failure. This is
don't
why
care.
I don't do crit fails. But anyway, so John, you throw the Molotov off, right? And you aim to shoot it, but you see, what you couldn't see is where you threw it. There was kind of a thing in the way. The Molotov sails off behind something. You don't see it anymore, but you were already aiming to shoot, right? So the Molotov crashes into one of these suspended cars, burning it, bringing it crashing down, making a small ramp up to this upper layer that now a very large, approximately like, I would say like wolf or coyote-sized spider comes crashing down right at John's feet and, like, gurgling dead as you just shot it, right? Then everything turns and jumps right at it.
Right at John's
Frenzy.
feet.
Yes.
I think I done patented that one up.
No, you see, John, what I did was I set myself on fire.
I
Well,
didn't
maybe
think
you
setting
can't
myself
do
on fire
that.
was a good idea.
He said patent.
There's no time to be discussing the intricacies of who fucked up what. You're being swarmed with zombie spiders.
I don't want this one with zombie spiders.
It's
Too
too
bad.
bad.
John, at least it's not leeches this time. It's okay.
thought
You
we'd
don't
have
have
Being
time to say
swarmed with
this.
spiders. You don't have time for for fucking pithy one-liners.
Yeah, what is this? The fucking Avengers?
That's my skill roll. Quippy one-liners. Let's see.
Like,
All right.
So-
So
So I imagine John's just yelling, fuck, fuck.
yes, these things are all jumping and, like, one of them tackles John off of his feet to get at this corpse as they're all fighting over it, dragging it into the webs, and you guys are kind of caught up in the crossfire. They're more or less avoiding Jiron, but even then, you're still getting bumped into the ones with thicker hides, right? As some of these at this point are things that are not going to burn quite as easily, right? Like, these are, you're getting some big ones, like some black bears and stuff, as they are crawling over you, and they start to throw some webs out that are getting over you guys as well. They're doing the whole, throw out a section of web. As you see, John's legs get tied up, and he gets just dragged off up the ramp of the car into the upper level and kind of flung into the air.
Someone help me, I don't like this. God damn it, this is worse than leeches.
John says while flying through the air into an overhead web.
all right. So Elias and Patton are like across the room. John's in the middle of the air.
John's in the middle of the air, about to land in a very large web, behind which you can see some, dinner plate-sized eyes.
Ooh, boy.
All right.
Dinner plate size.
Sized eyes.
Dinner plate
Those eyes are too big.
That's the biggin.
All right. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna break John's fall here by
Fall?
attempting to freeze the web he's about to fall into, just so he can like. break
That's
the
good.
web. And
That's good.
Nice.
That would be Arcana, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
Let's roll it. That's a 23 again.
Nice.
23? Okay, that's a success. So, John is about to fly into this web, right? But right as he's about to impact it, you send out, your icy blast and freeze the whole web. As John crashes through, the webbing around his leg also breaks. As you see John smack into something up there and start to fall back into a web, like, down near some of these overturned cars, which, by the way, like, these flipped over cars and things suspended in the web form like an entire second layer, like a false ceiling, basically,
Right.
that you guys now have an opening up into. There's a path through the undergrowth where there's smaller things crawling around, but it's really tight, and then there's the big open area. But you see John crash through the web and smack into a massive massive spider as he falls down. As he's falling, it kind of lunges out and attempts to grab him, but misses just barely. And this thing is colossal. It is a massive, just brown spider with black eyes. It's completely non-mutated, other than its just ridiculous size. It seems to be fairly standard spider shape. As it loses its balance for a little bit, goes to stand on some of the web that was frozen, breaks through a little bit, but slightly recovers, falls a bit, and lands on the wall, now fully in view. This thing is roughly the size of one of those big rigs.
I don't.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so am I on the ground now?
No. No.
No, you're on the false second layer, still in some amount of webbing, but you'll be able to pull yourself out.
Well,
this seems more structural than trapping.
Well, you know what they say. Out of the spider webs, into the spider webs.
This thing starts to run across the walls, digging its feet into the side of the walls, like as it's going, breaking off some of the metal siding and shit. You can see some holes punched through the wall where it's done this before.
Are there any markings on it? Any markings on its carapace?
Any distinct markings on the carapace?
Yeah, that I would notice.
What you see on this thing is it's got a large, semicircular, almost heart-shaped, main carapace. What is it? The abdomen, right?
Yeah.
It's got a...
No, that's
sort
the
of
thorax.
abdomen...
It's the spider part.
Yeah, that's the thorax. Its legs are very long and spindly and covered in very fine hairs. The entire thing is brown. The thorax is lighter shade of brown than the rest, with the back end. Is that the abdomen?
Yes, that's the abdomen.
I'm bad at spider anatomy. Is darker shade of brown. Elias would recognize this from the textbooks as, wow, that looks like a brown recluse, but huge.
Right. So there is absolutely no way that this thing should exist. None at all.
Right. None at all.
Because the spider size is limited by the oxygen content in the air, and this is not possible.
Correct.
Cool. So it's got to be some magical bullshit.
That looks like some fake magic bullshit to me.
As this thing starts to run around, it's still being very cautious. It's still very much a spider in that it's just running along the walls, scoping the place out. It gets its eyes on John, who is down in those webs, and starts to slowly move over towards it, putting one foot out on one of these cars that just sinks into the web under its weight.
All right, who's up next?